What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Manchester United are back in action in the Premier League. Match day 3 up against Burnley at Old Trafford. 3 p.m. kickoff tomorrow and manager is Scott Parker. Now, last season under Scott Parker, Burnley finished second in the championship with 100 points. They won a total of 28 games, drew 16 and lost only twice. They scored a total of 69 goals and conceded only 16 and finished with a plus 53 goal difference with 100 points. So in terms of last season, Burnley ended last season with a 33 match unbeaten run, and the team matched or broke several records last season. Burnley remained unbeaten at home, the first championship side to do so since the 2009-10 season. They gained 49 points away from home, including 14 wins, setting a new championship record. Burnley conceded just 16 goals in 46 matches, an average of 0.35 per game, setting the best defensive record in English league history. They also kept 30 clean sheets, matching Port Vale's record from 1953-54, and became the first side in English league history not to concede more than one goal in any fixture throughout an entire season. The team also went 12 consecutive league matches without conceding a goal between 21st December 2024 and 4th of March 2025, setting a new Football League record. Additionally, Burnley became the first club to record at least 100 points in a Pacific division on two separate occasions, and they accumulated 101 points in the 2022-23 season. Despite these accomplishments, however, they managed to finish second in the league behind Leeds United on goal difference, becoming the first team in English history to reach 100 points without winning the title. So they did have a really good season last season, but in terms of some insights, we'll get into some insights for the match for this match right here. So Manchester United have lost just one of their last 25 home games against Burnley in all competitions, winning 15 and drawing 9, going down 2-0 in January 2020. Of all the teams to have visited Manchester United at least 8 times in the Premier League, Burnley are one of 3 teams to have avoided defeat in more than half, with played 9, winning 1, drawing 4 and losing 4 along with Chelsea and Manchester City. Manchester United are unbeaten in their last 23 Premier League games against promoted sides, winning 20 and drawing 3 since a 4-1 loss at Watford in November 2021. Then after that, of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got sacked. Burnley won 2-0 against Sunderland in their last Premier League match, ending a run of 4 consecutive defeats in the competition. The Clarets have not won consecutive games since April 2022, whilst manager Scott Parker last did so in April 2019 when he was at Fulham. Manchester United have lost 8 of their last 13 home Premier League games, home Premier League matches, winning 3 and drawing 2 since the start of this run in December 7th December last year. No ever present team has lost more Premier League matches on home soil. Spurs also lost 8. So there's some insights for you. In terms of Burnley's recent form, if we have a look at that, they are coming away with a 2-1 win against Derby County in the League Cup, and that was at home. And then before that, they did win against Sunderland 2-0 at home. And then on the opening day of the Premier League season, they lost 3-0 to Spurs. In terms of team news for Burnley, but Brocha, Tuanzebe and Humphreys are doubtful, but I think they'll make the bench. Maybe not Tuanzebe or Humphreys, but I think Brocha did play against Derby County in midweek. In terms of Burnley's starting 11, this is how I think they're going to line up with. This is basically the same lineup that started against Sunderland. Dubravka in net, Walker, Ekdal and Estev and Hartman making up the 4 in midfield. Oguchukwu and Cullen making up the 2 in midfield. Walker, Ekdal and Estev and Hartman making up the 4 in defence. Oguchukwu and Cullen making up the 4 in midfield. Larson, Medjbury and Anthony making up the 3 in behind Foster. So in terms of how they like to play, In terms of their formation, usually it is a 4-2-3-1. Two central midfielders shield the defense. One sits deeper while the other supports progression. Some recent flexibility with a 4-3-3, with 4-3-3 deployments, especially from last season with Josh Brownhill. When Josh Brownhill was unavailable, led to a slightly more attacking output. In terms of build-up approach, they start from the back with short passing, centre back splitting wide and pivot dropping between them to progress play. Fullbacks either overlap or invert depending on the context. The number 10 often presses more than the number 10 often presses more than he plays as a creative hub. Possession is cautious, structured and designed to avoid conceding risky transitions. So Parker emphasizes controlled, risk-averse possession over flashy play, aiming to build patiently and unpick compact defenses. While solid defensively, Burnley sometimes struggle for goals, relying on cohesion and structure than flair. And attacking evolution. So late season signs of more penetration. Marcus Edwards' arrival added creativity in the final third. Parker acknowledged the need for a whole structure to contribute, not just a striker. And Parker himself noted in December last year that his team started to look like the team we wanted to be when combining defensive solidity with attacking threat. They also like to utilize overlaps, underlaps and many players in the box as well. So defending without possession often organizes in a mid-block, in a 4-4-2 mid-block or a 4-1-4-1 formation to protect central areas and deny penetration. Within the Championship last season, this rigid structure helped Burnley concede just 16 goals or 15 goals across 44 matches and record 30 clean sheets, like I mentioned before. So selective pressing as well based on triggers, often backward passes or loose touches rather than aggressive all-out pressing. Players maintain zones and team shape, focusing on control rather than chaos. Upon losing possession, the first priority is to restore compactness, not win the ball back immediately. The nearest player may engage, but the emphasis remains on structure and mid and deep block strategy. So in a 4-4-2 mid block, the team shifts compactly side to side with the ball far midfielders stepping to mark advanced sixes if needed. In a deep block, Burnley often overload the ball side, and the fullbacks steps up to close down attackers, while recovering midfielders cover the channels, even if the ball is switched quickly. So the bottom line, under Parker, Burnley's style is defined by rigid defensive discipline, structured and cautious possession play, and minimal risk. It proved highly effective in achieving promotion, but points to Parker's ongoing challenges, injecting more attacking dynamism while maintaining that defensive foundation, particularly in the Premier League. So in terms of the opposition star man, I'm going to have to say it's Oguchukwu. He's a big presence in midfield, covers the ground really nicely, can potentially dominate in areas that are particularly weak for us in terms of Man United as well. So that's how Burnley like to play. In terms of Manchester United, we are coming away with a disappointing game and performance against Grimsby Town, where we drew 2-2 in regular time, but they beat us 12-11 on penalties, and we've never been knocked out of a cup competition by a League 2 side. And I think in terms of Ruben Amorim, I think the jury's out on him right now. You cannot have the record you have in the Premier League, over £200 million spent, bring an entirely new forward line, failed to get all 3 points against Fulham last week, and failed to beat Grimsby Town in the League Cup as well. I think these results simply cannot continue, and the pressure is on Ruben Amorim to deliver this season. And possibly if these results continue, then like I mentioned previously, Ruben Amorim could be out of a job in October, and he has to deliver. 7 wins in 29 Premier League games, losing to League 2 Grimsby. These are multiple sackable offences. Yet he is still in a job. Now, I'm not calling for him to get sacked or anything. I'm still behind. I'm still behind the team. I'm behind the manager. It doesn't matter who the manager is for me. I'm going to support Manchester United every single game. You know, I want us to win every single game, and I don't care who the manager is. I don't care who's on the pitch. I want us to win every single game. But you know, the jury is still out, and it really is looking bleak in terms of start of the season. We've not had a good start to the season whatsoever. You know, 3 games in, we've not won. We'd lost against Arsenal, we drew to Fulham, and we got knocked out by Grimsby in the League Cup. You know, it's not been a good start to the season whatsoever. But yeah, in terms of United's team news, obviously Mazraoui and Martinez are out with injuries. So in terms of United starting 11, this is my United 11 that I would go with. Bayindir in net. Of course, I can see shouts for Tom Heaton being in goal over Bayindir and Onana. Simply, I can see why people are wanting Heaton to start, you know, possibly, but I've gone with Bayindir because I think his distribution has been okay, not amazing. But it's been decent in my opinion. I think it was decent against Arsenal anyway. Back 3 of Euro, De Ligt and Shaw, the back 3. Then a midfield 4 of Ahmad, Casemiro, Fernandes and Dogu. Then a front 3 of Mbumo, Cunha and Sesko. So that's my preferred 11 for Man United, not predicted. In terms of United star man, I'm gonna have to say it's Mbumo. I think he performed well against Arsenal. He was a little bit quiet against Fulham, and I thought he did come up with the goal against Grimsby, but obviously I'm gonna have to say it's Mbumo just because of his recent performances this season so far, and I don't think Fernandes has kind of contributed as much to the start of the season as Mbumo. I think Mbumo has looked our most dangerous player going forward. In terms of how do you beat Burnley, exploit Burnley's limited offensive tools. Burnley, likely to set up in a compact 4-5-1 or midfield block, will rely on counterattacks through wingers like Larson and Medjugorje, with Foster as a focal point up front. United can disrupt this by dominating possession with quick, incisive ball circulation, pinning Burnley back, limiting their space and forcing them to absorb pressure deeper. Use wing-back width and overloads. United are expected to employ a 3-4-2-1 formation. Euro, De Ligt and Shaw at the back, and Ahmad and Dogu as wing-backs, with Casemiro shielding and Bruno orchestrating. This system can overload wide areas, stretching Burnley's narrow defensive setup, create crossing and cutback opportunities from deeper regions, provide numerical superiority in wide build-up phases, and make Bruno Fernandes thrive as well. Bruno has a stellar record against promoted sides, 10 goal involvements in the last 8 games with impressive creativity stats, but has underperformed slightly this season. Key for United, give him freedom between the lines, support him with movement and midfield runners to maximise his impact. And finally, number 4, finish chances, break compactness. United's major weakness has been conversion rates, not creating control but failing to finish. So to win, vary the attack, mix lower crosses, infield passes and runs beyond the back line, and use set pieces intelligently, especially as Burnley remain vulnerable in transition. So to summarise, to beat Burnley at Old Trafford, United must control the ball and create overloads on the flanks, play through Bruno's strengths and his talent that he has in terms of getting on the ball and creating chances for us from that deep line midfield position. Vary attacking patterns and finish clinically. That's what we need to do. We need to create more chances in the final third, be clinical in the final third, and create opportunities for the likes of Sesko and Mbumo and Cunha, or create opportunities for the Sesko, crosses into the box. Vary attacking patterns and finish clinically. Maintain defensive compactness against Burnley's counters. So that's how you beat Burnley. Personally, I think it's going to be a tough game tomorrow, and if we don't pick up all 3 points, it's going to be an absolute meltdown again on social media. If we don't pick up 3 points, it's going to be a really disappointing result for us yet again. However, I am confident United can get the job done. I am going for a 3-0 Manchester United win. Sesko to score 2 and Mbumo to score 1. And that's it from me. If you enjoyed this preview, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and hopefully we come out with all 3 points, and I'll catch you after the match.